Let's go. Hey man, that's all y'all get. Every week. I'm not gonna get but so hyped this time. I promise y'all I'm not. But welcome to the Mad Lucrative Podcast. I am the host, the one, the only. I gotta pause real quick. Magneto 7 in the building. I'm gonna be sophisticated because the person we got in the building today. Okay, check it out. It's rare that you get to meet people that know what they talking about. They done live something in life, and they are willing to share what they've lived out with y'all. So, none other than King William Hollis in the building. How you feeling, brother? How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm blessed, man. I am a masterpiece because I am a piece of the master, King. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Honored to be on your show, King.
Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you just agreeing to be on. Because I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you talk. We're gonna talk a little bit about your background, where you came from, what you're doing now, all that stuff. But it's very few people that I can say I see X, I see another version of Farrakhan, and I'm taking it out of not from a religious standpoint, but from being aggressive and effective in your space. So
absolutely.
What got you started? And start from the beginning too. Like,
okay. Well, King, I want to say thank you. It's an honor to even be mentioned with those type of names. I'm truly honored. What got me started, it was I was homeless about 8 years ago. I had a cracked vertebrae, and I ended up homeless in Philadelphia. And one day I was helping coach the Serena football team, and she would see how I would interact with the players. But at the time I was homeless. I would either sneak in with a couple players some nights to stay in their hotel because it was a low-level arena team, like the minors of the arena team.
Okay.
And, I sneak in some nights, or some nights I go out and I go over by the Turkey Hill gas station down in Reading, PA. And one day she saw me by the gas station when I was in there buying one of them cold sandwiches and some ranch chips. That was my go-to turkey sandwich and ranch chips.
Okay.
And she had saw me coming out of the store, man, and she had said, Will, I see how you talk to the players. I would love for you to come and speak to a group of young men. They're like top basketball players, but they can't function in a regular high school. Maybe you can get through them. I love how you interact. Mm-hmm. And man, just so happened during that time, and I was in a very, very dark place mentally. At this point, I had already buried my mother to a heroin overdose. Father was incarcerated. I really just didn't have anybody. The best example I can give is like that scene in Life when everybody started to disappear. Yeah. That's exactly how I felt in my life at that time, King. Dang. And I went to the school, that following day, and I spoke to the young men. Mm-hmm. Within 5 minutes, they was in tears. It was the first time I ever talked about my story, and a lot of people don't realize it, that the healing is talking about your story. And when I start talking about it, man, I start, we wouldn't even realize what we endured.
Right.
By telling our story. And I tell everybody out there, just try it one day. Just tell your story one day and see, you'll really see the picture in the movie of what you really been through. You know what I mean? You'll see what you're really working with.
Bruh.
And
I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do this with you today, dog.
Yes, sir.
He got me right down. Like, I'm not going to do this, but go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
King, and you know our journey. The stories be hard, man. And,
yeah.
And like I said, I told my story, and I was walking back to the hotel, man. I had a 4-5, man. I was about to literally take my life. And I think literally about 8 to 10 steps away from the hotel, I got a phone call from the principal. And she said, "How much do you charge to speak?" At this point, I don't know nothing about what charge to speak mean. I'm like 75, 100, 75, 100.
In dollars,
like,
not thousands.
yeah, in dollars. Like, cool. I'm like, I had no experience in it or nothing, man. And I basically, I said I accept for $100 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I went into the hotel and I went to the computer, a free computer, and basically I typed in motivational speaker.
Okay.
And the first thing popped up was Les Brown from the Georgia Dome. I watched him, King. He started speaking with all his elegance. He was talking about pain, keeping a smile. Yeah. I watched how he, his face, how he worked, how he worked with the audience. Right. Yeah, it was beautiful to see a black man communicating at that level, man. And that was the first time I really got to see like motivational speaking. So I watched him for a week, and then I'm like, I got my own style. I'm gonna use me. I'm just gonna be me. And I went to the school a couple weeks later, man, and did 500 students. When I finished the speech, King, I got a standing ovation. Every student in the assembly walked up to me and shook my hand. Some was in tears. And if you fast forward 9 years later now, over 800 million views on YouTube. The first speaker to speak during Milan Fashion Week for Philip Plein and Paris Hilton in Italy. The #1 football speech in the world. A spoken word album, over 1 million plus streams, independent, a best-selling book in Walmart, Target, Barnes and Nobles. And man, I did it, King, with my voice, man. I had no dollar, I had no management team, no social network team. I built it all from my iPhone. Bruh. My first speech, King, I used a pillar in the corner. It was called Young King. Yeah. And I recorded Young King in the corner with an iPhone voice memo. And King, they got the speech. This kid in Philadelphia got his hands on the speech. Yeah. And put it in a compilation with Tony Robbins, Les Brown, all these cats. And at the end of the speech, the people, the fans was like, who in the hell is William King Hollis? Yeah. And it was like, and then he dropped the full speech, and that's when it started, man. That's when everything took a blaze. When I was still in the shelter, over 100, 200 million views on YouTube, I was still homeless, bro. I was still homeless. Hold on, I was making them speeches with iPhones, man. Like with some of the greatest speeches the world loves today is an iPhone, man. You know what I mean? So I tell people, like, I think I was a person that was supposed to just, be an example and show kings that God is real, because like I said, man, God became my manager. He became my PR. He became my social network team. He became my connector of the world, man. I just came back from Kingston, Jamaica. I just got the Ambassador of Peace Award at 32 in Kingston, Jamaica, man. And it feels surreal, because I was a project kid from Pontiac, Michigan. I couldn't read till I was 16. Now I got a best-selling book. I'm doing all this stuff, but it's something inside of me, King, that never allows me to celebrate, because I believe God didn't do this for me to celebrate. He did it for me to help. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's two type of people in this world, King. It's people that's addicted to taking, and there's people that's addicted to giving. Some of us just addicted. Some of us can't breathe if we can't give. And that giving is a natural trait of the black man and the black woman. It is. Because the black man, #1 love is his mother. Mm-hmm. The first thing he wants to do is take care of his mother. It's always in his heart to provide and take care. And what happens is they go against the opposition in the world that causes them not to fulfill their destiny. Yeah. And when they don't fulfill their destiny, they don't feel like a man. And when they don't feel like a man, they don't feel like living. When you're not maturing as a man, you're dying as a man. Mm. If you get what I'm saying. You feel what I'm saying? You're Benjamin Button. You're aging backwards. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So what I tell people is, King, the first thing is just identifying who you are. And like you said, King, I'm on a mission. Like I said, man, I don't have all the big celebrities. I don't need to stand next to none of the big celebrities and talk about anything, because I'm talking about liberation and the uplifting of black people. I'm not talking about shaking your behind in the club or shooting your brother or making another man an op. Right. Because I understand this, King. I understand that Men have lost their way, especially the black man. The black man has lost his way because he's literally forgot his identity. And the best example I can give you is think about, and this is for the man and the woman, think about a royal king and a queen riding with riches and gold and knowledge and so much joy.
Right.
And they go into different countries, changing the demographics, giving away gold, giving away knowledge, giving away liberation.
Right.
And one day these group of individuals approached us as friends. But these group of individuals were truly our enemies and they wasn't our friends. Mm-hmm. So what happened, King, is as the king and queen continued to walk and ride, those friends hit them on the back of their head and they knocked them out cold, King. Mm-hmm. And when they knocked them out cold, they stripped them of their jewelry, their gold, their knowledge, their culture, their style, their everything. And then when they woke up, they told the individuals that everything they see belongs to them.
Right.
But what they didn't know is God will leave a seed, King. He'll leave a seed that knows more than the average man. And it's going to come from individuals that know they don't have PhDs from Harvard. Yeah. They have PhDs from the gutter, from the bottom, from the slums. Because if anybody knows the story of God, God was placed in the slums, mm-hmm. places where nobody ever thought to come or ever thought anything can come from. Right. So that's why when you hear William Hollis say the best gifts come from the bottom, because I know that's where God came from, the bottom. Yeah. So if God came from the bottom and I come from the bottom and he came and he created me from him, I know what I am, black man. Yeah. I am a God. I am of that texture. Yeah. And I know what I'm capable of and I know what my tongue possesses. And I also know how to activate that tongue and activate those blessings. Yeah. The only way you can activate a blessing is if you give God a clean temple to enter. If you don't give him a clean temple to enter, he can't set up there. That's right. He can't work there, ladies and gentlemen. So when you praying, you're sending smoke signals. You're not getting all the way through. You're not getting all the way through to him. Yeah. And what I tell a lot of my people right now is if you want to change and help the black community, you're going to have to be a sacrificial lamb. You're going to have to give without being able to get anything in return but the love for black people. And let me tell you this. If you have not felt the feeling of walking in a room full of all your people that love you, mm-hmm. that love you, ladies and gentlemen, I experienced that in Kingston, Jamaica. I experienced it so much that when I went to the airport, I don't know if y'all remember when we go over our friend's house as a child, we'd cry when we had to leave because we had so much fun. Yeah. The love was just that strong. And that's what I felt leaving Kingston, Jamaica. And that's when I learned about kings like Paul Bogan. You know what I mean? Kings that led rebellions, against the British Army with only 347 people. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? You got to understand it was black men that had so much love and power that they can make 347 black children, women, grandmothers, and grandfathers stand in the valley of death with them. Mm-hmm. That's what type of power we had. And they disconnected us from our knowledge and connected us into garbage, into things that has nothing to do with our vibrations and growing as a man or a woman. Right. The most important thing that we must do as African-American people and as our brothers and sisters in general is educate the minds at the youngest stage. If you educate the minds, ladies and gentlemen, at the youngest stage, they will grow to be amazing individuals. They will grow to be people that the world never thought was possible to be shown up in this world in this day and age. And what I know to be true, ladies and gentlemen, our ancestors, I want you to know something. When you pray to your ancestors and when you speak to your ancestors protect you. Yeah. The only way your ancestors can protect you is if you celebrate them, unless you give them the voice that they no longer have. So if you're a person that feels you compelled and you got something in your body to talk about and speak about, you got to let that out. Mm-hmm. And a lot of us, we walking around and we're standing in God's way when the whole time God was meant to lead us, not walk behind us. We're walking behind. We're walking in front of God when He was meant to walk in front of us. So when you trip up and fall, you finally understand that you're in the way.
Hey,
you're in the way, ladies and gentlemen. The only way you're gonna win is if you get out of God's way. And when I say get out of God's way, how many of you guys have loved a man, a woman, a car, a house more than you love God, and you lost it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't need to tell you the reason why you lost it, because I just told you.
Exactly.
You standing in God's way.
Okay. Look.
Yeah.
You done said so much, bro. First off, you said you don't want to celebrate. Guess what? We got to celebrate you. I know what you're saying, but I could just let you go for an hour, for real. But the level of impact, right? Do you think, had you not lived through what you've had to live through so far, you would be as powerful as you are now?
The minister Abdul Sharif Muhammad out of Mosque number 14 in Atlanta, Georgia, told me that everything that I am, God placed in me in my mother's womb. So I believe that the reason why my mother passed of a heroin overdose that my uncle sold her was because God had a mission for me. When I was a little boy, I came home with some IEP papers, and I said, "Mom, I'm dumb." And my mom said, "No, Will, you're not dumb. God just gave you a special gift, and you ain't gonna understand until you become a man." So when I say my mother was connected to God for a very long time, and she gave birth to me for these times right now, I really believe that I have the capability and the messages to truly change the mindset of a lot of people. Now, don't get it twisted. It's going to be roaches and rats, ladies and gentlemen. It always exists. But that's why they created exterminators. But I want you to know this, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest thing that we need more than ever in these times right now is the support of our elders. The number two thing we need more than ever is love, ladies and gentlemen. Just pure, unadulterated love, ladies and gentlemen. Real love.
Yeah.
And putting the young kings that God has given a gift in front of the audiences that He can change the mindset of. You see, you can't go into that kid sitting in them projects selling dope, shooting at people. You can't go into their mindset because you don't understand that. I'm going to break something down to you. You wonder why a kid goes shoot and murder a man without no compassion. Because let me tell you this. That kid gonna grow up his whole life in those slums and those projects. His mama probably on dope and his daddy probably in a penitentiary. He never had a chance. So guess what? A cat say, "Hey, I give you $20,000, $30,000." This kid ain't never had $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. He say, "Hey, what I gotta do? Squeeze that metal, young man, and I'm gonna pay you $20,000." So guess what? You think that kid is afraid to put his life on the line just to live for a moment? You think he's afraid?
At all.
So what you're dealing with right now, ladies and gentlemen, you're dealing with young kings that don't know what a man looks like. All the men is dressed like boys. So they don't know what a man is looking like. Everybody looks like a boy. Let me tell you about an episode on Boardwalk Empire, and it changed my whole mindset when it came to speaking. Because everybody know you come in the game, I'm urban. I'm urban. I'm gonna be a G. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be me.
Yeah.
But people don't never understand greatness ain't about you. It's about what the world thinks, ladies and gentlemen. So when I say this, get back to Boardwalk Empire. On Boardwalk Empire, it was a scene with Al Capone. I believe it's Boardwalk Empire or Peaky Blinders. It might have been a Peaky Blinders. But it was an episode with Al Capone. Al Capone was in charge of taking this Jewish man on basically as a tour guide. He's supposed to be his tour guide. So as the Jewish man kept walking with Al, he kept calling Al a bull. And Al was like, "Yo," he just got fed up. Why? Do you keep calling me a boy?
Yeah.
And the Jewish man replied, as long as you wear the hat of a boy, you will always be perceived as a boy.
Yeah. Facts.
So what he's saying is, if you want respect, my man, show me that you're a man.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be perceived as a man, looked at as a man in the household, show your family what a man looks like. Yeah. You should never look like your 12-year-old son walking out the house. I understand a picture too, right, but give your son the example of what a gentleman looks like. Mm-hmm. This ain't got nothing to do with white or black. This goes all the way back to the 50s and the 40s when black men only had $8 to their name, yeah, but they had a suit.
They had that suit, dog.
You feel me?
They had that suit.
We got away from it. Now think about this. I'm gonna go even deeper. Uh-huh. See, I had the capability. I could have used my gift as a speaker to be one of the biggest drug dealers in the world, or I could have used my ability and my career to be one of the biggest positive speakers in the world. Mm-hmm. So what I tell people is, ladies and gentlemen, I always noticed this as a kid. It's a setup. If you watch the Caucasian drug dealer, you might see him in a suit and both of his keys is in the briefcase, closed up, and he can stand right next to the cops. Mm-hmm. You know what we did? You know what they did with us?
What's that?
They put us in uniform, True Religions, T-shirts, joggers, and literally made it easy for the cops to spot them, for the cops to bother them, to incarcerate them for false charges, just because they looked the part. So what if I told you, ladies and gentlemen, that we played a part? We were playing hide and seek. We were playing hide and seek.
Yep.
With nowhere to cover up at.
Yeah. Facts.
Y'all was playing hide and seek and you had nowhere to cover up at. You was out in the open, thought you was covered up. They made you think you was playing the game, and then they make you make all that money, take it and give it back to them.
Exactly.
The same money that they say you kill people for is the same money they're going to use to kill your community.
Exactly.
Ain't that something?
Okay, check this out. And I dug a little bit. I went back to the video. I think this was probably from maybe early 2000s. Where they had they were talking, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist or nothing like that, but I do believe in reading between the lines, right? And it was a situation where they talked about the secret meeting that never happened in the music business. And we went from UNITY, Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, Tribe Called Quest to 50 and all the hood and street joints. And they said, well, we invested into the prison community from an industry standpoint, so we need to put more music out like that.
I could go even deeper. And first of all, I always remember this, King. Ain't no conspiracy in the black theory. It's just what it is. Okay. We ain't never had no conspiracies. We always knew what it was. Okay. But I'm gonna go even deeper on this thing when I talk about a star. The only star was shot from the sky was the devil, my brother. So if the star is shot from the devil and the devil was in charge of the music and the devil walks this earth with equal right, the devil's in charge of the music. If you watch everything in the industry, the devil has his hands on that first. That's his.
Right.
That's his, ladies and gentlemen. So when you see that, and everybody hear their own stories about the industry and what people do and how it go and this and that. But when you say I want to be the star, you saying you basically want to be Lucifer.
You going deep. You going, go ahead. Go ahead.
You want to be a star?
Yeah.
You want to be a star, you want to be Lucifer. You don't never want to outshine. What they say, don't outshine. You can't outshine God.
Exactly.
How you gonna call yourself a star? How you do that? How you do that? Did you ever notice this? Human beings, us as human beings, we cry more over a celebrity dying than our father. You go harder on a celebrity that our father created more than you go for him.
Yeah.
And wonder why when people die, you'll never get that peace back.
Mm.
You'll never get that peace back. How you do that? Did you ever notice this? Human beings, us as human beings, we cry more over a celebrity dying than our father. You go harder on a celebrity that our father created more than you go for him. And wonder why when people die, you'll never get that peace back. Because God is a man. Listen to me. I tell a lot of y'all don't know this. I don't write speeches. I'm over
Really?
800. I freestyle everything.
Wow.
I don't write, ladies and gentlemen. Everything comes from my heart, God. Sometimes I say things out the Bible that I never even read before. I know that ain't coming from me. I use words that I never even read before.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people, if you give your heart to God, fam, I don't care if you still selling dope. If you in the trenches, let me tell you my mindset. I told myself in the beginning of my career, God put this in my head. I said, I'm going to turn drug addict mothers back into beautiful queens. I'm going to turn drug dealers into community leaders. And I'm going to turn murderers into security. I got the ability to do that, King.
Yeah.
I got the ability to do that. And when you talk about the great Marcus Garvey's, you talk about the Malcolm X, the Minister Farrakhan's, the Far Muhammad's, you talk about all these people, I can tell every single being on this earth that William Hollis did not get his knowledge from a book. This was downloaded. And that's why I was able to kick down the door in the speaking industry as a homeless man. Not as a millionaire, but as a homeless man, because God said this, the kingdom is voice activated. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, what you speak, if you really connect, all of you got God body in you, but you haven't activated you. You covered your brain. You covered your brain
freely
with
too.
fog
freely
of disgust.
Yeah.
Of pain, of drug dealing, of calling your women out their name, tearing them down to the smallest decimal, to the point where the woman is breaking the man now, more than the man breaking the woman. It's payback. It's the revenge of the queen, because you broke something without ever learning how to fix it. Yeah. And the only way you gonna fix
say it again.
Is if you go to God.
Say it again. Because you broke something.
You broke something. And God ain't give you what you needed to fix it.
Listen.
You broke. Because guess what you broke, black man? Guess what you broke? Guess who face you spit in? God.
Yeah.
The closest thing to God is a woman.
Yeah.
My man. You can't create nothing. You can only drop a seed, but you can't fertilize that.
You can't fertilize it, nah.
Anybody can drop a seed. But is it going to grow? Is it going to cultivate? That's the power of the queen. I said it in one of my quotes. Only in the womb of a woman can a man breathe underwater. Isn't that amazing? An amazing thing, my brother.
Yo, okay, so look, I'm gonna have to go from motivational speaker to theologian. Cause, bro, you got way more in you, which is good. That's good, but you got way more in you than folk has even seen. Like, even the fact you talked about Les Brown, right? I had the same response when I heard Les Brown for the first time. I think I was probably about 30, probably 33 or something like that. Heard Les Brown, kind of like you. I was going through the trenches. All cars repoed, brand new baby. Barely can find a spot for me and my lady to live. And then I hear this voice, Les Brown, and I'm like, yo, listen to this. And I let her hear it, and we both in tears like, all right, we're going to be good. Let's suck it up. Let's do it. And the fact that you've been willing to accept the responsibility, kudos, bro. Kudos.
Man, King, I can tell you from a young black man to another black man, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just following God. I never knew that I was going to be no speaker. I never knew that I would do all these great things that I'm doing. But one thing I can say that every day I thank God for keeping that hunger in me, for giving me the ability to not celebrate for too long. and understand that the mission that I'm on is not for a celebration.
Yeah.
It's for a continuation. It's to instill something into another young William King Hollis in the projects that may feel that he got nothing inside of him. And if I can bring that out on my journey, because I believe I'm 32 years old.
Okay.
I believe that what God has for me is far past, the understanding of my mind.
Okay.
But what I do understand is, my brother, is that I thank God for taking the fear of death out of my life, because I understand that to be afraid of death is to never live at all. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, when my mother passed, I had a dream, and she said, I'm on a long journey, but I'm almost home. And when I heard her say that, I realized that this life is just a test drive. Yeah. And what you do during these times and during this life is what's going to set you up for your trajectory into the next journey.
Yeah.
And all I can say is, and I don't quote me, it's just something that I feel God put in my heart. That journey will be extremely hard if you don't turn around and go back in the right direction. A lot of us have jumped behind the devil because the devil had Cuban links on.
Yeah.
Fancy cars and all the women. But what if I told you at the end, they're going to lead you into a pit of fire that you will not be able to put out?
Nah.
So if you don't go back that other direction, and it's an artist, it's somebody out there that's ready to sell their soul, get their whole life up for the dollar. And let me tell you something out there, ladies and gentlemen. Kid, you want to know what a rich man is? A rich man is an individual that can provide for his family, come home, eat at a dinner table, and look around and say, I built this. That is a rich man.
Yeah.
I provided this. I grew this child. I nurtured this child. I did my job for God as a man. So I know God got me. And I don't know about y'all, but I want to live my life knowing that God got me. And on top of that, my ancestors got me.
Yeah.
My ancestors got me. So once you get God and the ancestors, you're an unstoppable force. You become what they call a Messiah type.
Well, even and I'm gonna wrap it up, because I always try to plan. I try to plan for 30, and a lot of times the judges just get good. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be respectful.
Good, King.
But I think even realizing the magnitude of what you just said as it relates to the artist, and I'm gonna say that side is so bold, right? It ain't no secret. You got the images in every record. You got it. It's not a secret that that's what you selling. If you quote unquote trading the soul for the art, it's right there. Y'all just look at the past. I'm gonna say 2000. Shoot, maybe in the past 10 years, it's progressively gotten more worse and more in your face. Destructive characteristics.
Yeah, and you know what they fear?
What's that?
A fierce black man. They fear him. They try to kill him every chance they get. Yeah. Ain't that something? All that big eliteness, all that money. But if one black man rise, it'll shake the whole world, King. And no, not just a man that rise, But a man that rises and look adversity in the eyes and doesn't run from it, but run towards it.
Yeah.
Because a man that knows who his ancestors are, and a man that knows that death is beautiful, you can't put fear in him.
You can't.
Because I'm going to hunt you when you take me.
Yo.
You hear me, King?
Last thing, I promise you. I promise you. So, what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, I'm not even call it motivational speaking. It's just the work that you're doing to be effective.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in that same space for the music community, right? And of course, like you, a lot of my revelation came out of pain.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a few bad pub deals, whatever. And I teach the artists every time I get to open my mouth. And I had one of my, old industry friends was like, "You gonna say that?" And I'm just like, "Bruh, like, if we don't put it out there," and I always equate publishing deals to pawn shops for the music community. And I say, don't do it. Only pub deal you should do is if you're releasing a book or something like that and you own everything.
Absolutely.
But on the music side, no. Start your own publishing company, put your own music out, get good credit enough, buy assets, fuel your music. That way,
Yes, sir.
you're not even gonna be at risk of having to take a deal and it looking glamorized, because it's like, yo, you offer me 100,000, I got assets that does this 10 times.
Man, King, let me tell you something. I'm over spoken word. Spoken word now. I'm probably sitting at like 12 or 13 monthly listeners off of speaking. And I did over 3 million plus streams worldwide off of speeches. Over beats. When I say, King, God created something so prolific for me, man. I'm talking about, King, like, I thank God because he gave me something that's special. Yeah. And I'm going to just tell people like this, you could take this before I give you anything. If you ever wonder when you found what you were born to do, it's when it becomes easy to you and amazing to the world.
Yeah.
Don't ever forget that. The most amazing thing you can do to change your life is going to be one of the easiest things you do, because God blessed you with that.
Right.
We all got them. We all got them.
We do.
But somewhere along the line, life turned the lights off. You didn't let all these people turn you bitter and angry and take you away from who you truly are. Mm-hmm. But I said it in one of my clips the other day. I said, don't allow no man or no woman to change your heart. That heart, that love is special. Right. You just got it in ungrateful hands. That's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Yo,
that's straight ministry. Hold up, bro. I got to give you one. Because, I mean, bro, like,
ungrateful hands. Ain't that something?
Bro, I'm going to say, and I promise you, again, I keep saying it because I'm trying to be respectful of your time. But when you notice, and I got some good managers that's been kind of good. You know, we ain't had no issues. But absolutely, a lot of musicians even, I've seen them, and some of them big names. We cool, big names, and I notice how the joy is stolen out of everything that they do, because, like you said, putting the gift in the wrong hands, and it just morphs into, well, yeah, I need to get 100,000. I'm like, it's so much money in doing what you love to do and what you were born to do, that a lot of the times, like you said, wrong hands. The wrong hands will help you sell yourself for 100 when God want 100 million, for you.
And that's something that I can thank God, even on my lack of education of contracts and being in the industry for 9 to 10 years. God, I've never signed a contract my entire career.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? That's how amazing God is, dog. And y'all wonder why I keep saying God, because I wasn't no church boy, and God ain't nobody ever sent me to no church.
Mm-hmm.
God came to me at my lowest moment, and He said, "King, speak," and I got you, and I did it. And I'm sitting in condos. I'm driving around. I'm driving nice cars. I'm going around the world. I'm getting Ambassador of Peace at 32, and
Yeah.
all I did was work for God. That's all
That's a
I
lot.
did, ladies and gentlemen. I just worked for God. I'm at $50,000 a show. I only work for God. That's for me to speak, ladies and
Bro, hold
gentlemen.
up.
So when I say this, the beautiful thing God did for me is, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I do my coaching programs, I do all of this stuff for my people, affordable. I do $150 coaching calls via
Wow.
FaceTime, Skype, or Zoom. I take that time out because I told myself that God made me rich on the inside before He made me rich on the outside.
Yeah.
So when money came, I was so rich in here that I valued what was in here more than was out here. You feel me?
Yo, you got too many.
That's
You
what
got
happened,
bro,
King.
you got my head hurting, dog. You gonna have to stop, dog. Like you keep dropping bars, but that's a lot. It's to expand on that. It's the same thing as you're only gonna be more of what you were before money.
And
So
remember, I went back, go back to what I told you. I said, King, two type of people. People addicted to taking and people addicted to giving.
yeah,
And then when I say addicted to giving, those people who give, they feel it in a very core soul.
we do.
You know,
We
we get
do.
frustrated when we can't deliver. We mad. That type of giving.
It's the funny thing is, and my wife has helped me with that. But over the years, I've been a giver to a default, and she'll. That's the beauty of having a wife. She'll see something before it come and be like, oh no, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. And I'll be like, but I got so much to give. She's like, no, you don't need to do that, cause what you give them and what they're gonna do with what you give them completely different than what your perspective is for that. So don't do
100% right, King. 100% right.
it.
100%. My queen is very special. I got an amazing queen in my life as well, King. Definitely is a prophet. She sees things for me. God sent me a very special woman
Mm-hmm.
to help me see my journey. You know what I mean? And dodge the enemy
Yeah.
and help me, constructive criticism. I know God said, Will, you're a very powerful, young, strong man. What can I send to talk to you? I said, dang, a beautiful black woman.
Exactly.
He said, how can I get halfway through that stubborn head? Beautiful black woman,
Yeah.
my beautiful black woman. And man, like I said, man, I'm getting ready to do some tours.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to do so much stuff. But once again, man, my book, if anybody interested in telling their story, they definitely got to check out my book, man. The best gifts come from the bottom.
All right. How can they get it?
It's on Amazon. Autograph copies in the link in my bio on William King Hollis. My Instagram page is William King Hollis.
Okay.
YouTube is William Hollis. Man, I'm everywhere, man. And like I said, I also offer an amazing program for single mothers. I talk about this all the time. So single mothers, for this month, this whole entire month, I'm doing $50 FaceTime, Skype, Zoom calls for 45 minutes to the entire household of children, talking to them if you need those services. I do that to give back, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of my money and a lot of people that I talk to, they're in the trenches.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people, I got to go and I got to give and I got to do these things basically for free. And don't get me wrong, I love it. Yeah. I love my people. I'm trying to bring self-development to the projects. It's never been done.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to motivate them with something more than a dunk and a gold grill and Cuban links on their neck.
Yeah.
I want to make our kids understand that the knowledge is the power. The knowledge is the jewelry, the houses, the cars. It's the knowledge. You gain knowledge, you gain everything. And in this book, going back to the beginning of this conversation, it talks about telling your story. And I created this to one day get it into schools for curriculum. You know, try curriculum when kids tell their story. Mm-hmm. When kids start to tell their story, counselors, other individuals be able to recognize the pain points that's in those children's lives. Mm-hmm. Also, it will show kids of black, yellow, orange, and yellow, no matter the race or ethnicity, that through stories show how much we truly relate to each other and how much different we're not.
Right.
And I believe by orchestrating this, getting the child to write a book about themselves make them a published artist before they even leave the school.
I love it.
Like, you know, just get them out here telling their story, because us as black people, we have amazing stories, and a lot of you guys have amazing stories. And if I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if I can start in a shelter and be sitting here on this show, I had a privilege to go out and interview. I was the youngest person Tom Bailu ever interviewed. The man worth $400 million. You understand? I'm from the project. He said, this is a key word, this is his exact word. He said, I want to interview you before the world knows the legend.
Oh, yeah.
And that was at 31 years old. Bruh. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you guys get ready for a true journey of changing the mindset. And I just want you guys to know that it's kings out here that love his people. Mm-hmm. Love his sisters, love his brothers, love our existence. Yeah. I love everything about us except the fact that we don't love us. And that's the thing that I'll die trying to change.
Bruh. All right, so first off, I appreciate all of that, all the jewels. I'm going to say this, with those coaching calls or with the calls you're doing with some of the families, from the pod, the Mad Lucrative pod, Magneto 7 himself, if it's some families that can't afford it, please let us know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because I really, I'm with you on that. Same single family situation. Pops was doped up for a little bit. And I saw him, I think, at 4 years old, 18, and then now in my 30s, we've been working because he got grandkids now. So it's like we've been trying to progressively build a relationship, you know. But if we could bypass a lot of that stuff and catch it in the beginning.
Let me tell you this. If you allow a young black man to know who he is, he'll show the world how great he is.
Yeah.
Just remind them. Just let him know. Educate him on who he is.
Yeah.
Who his ancestors is. What he comes from. The type of strength that he has. You let the queen know. If Maya Angelou died at a young age, she would have died a prostitute, drug dealer, drug addict, drug dealer, madame, everything bad, you name it. And now this black woman is going to be on currency. See, like people don't understand,
and not just
they don't understand. They don't understand our greatness, man.
Yeah, and not just teaching them the slavery standpoint. Teach them Massa Musa.
My favorite.
Teach them that. Start there.
My favorite. and we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue to teach. But I tell everybody, God is pushing a restart button on the world, brother.
I believe.
And he's telling his chosen people to step up to the plate. And you guys might not know this, but it's a Moses that walked this earth.
Mm.
It's a Moses that walked this earth, a Moses of today. It's a Moses of today, ladies and gentlemen. And he's here. He's not hiding. He's
Yeah.
here. He's here, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to let you guys find him. But what I tell you is, when you find him, just listen. And remember, it ain't what he looked like. It's what's inside of him.
Yeah.
If you guys ever saw the movie with Adam Sandler, the Click movie,
Oh, you talking
when
about with the
God,
remote joint?
yeah,
Yeah.
when God would show up in homeless people,
Yeah.
you got to be careful who you look down upon.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm telling you, a messenger is here, ladies and gentlemen. And the elite know. The elite knows.
Yeah.
He has no fear, man.
Yeah.
They know that too.
Look at him.
And what I want you to know is going to be a lot of false depictions of him to throw you off. But let me tell you this. When the messenger comes, and he going to come, understand he's not going to be wearing gold necklaces.
Yeah.
He going to look just like you in the trenches. His eyes going to be wide and big, and his heart going to beat like a lion's. And he going to show you how to defeat the devil. He going to show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, once again, yo, I'm full. Are y'all full? Like, I got this.
Okay,
I got some. Yo. So once again, we gonna put all of his information on the bottom. Please make sure you follow this king. It's imperative. I'm gonna say that for the people that may have caught Les Brown in their 30s, like I did. Don't be the person that catches him in your 30s.
And you know
Catch
what's
him
so
now.
crazy, King?
What's up?
Mark my word. If you're an audience member and you listening, if you heard my speeches before, but you just now seeing my face today, I'm over 800 million, so I know one of y'all heard it. So if you heard it, make sure y'all write the King a message so you can let me know if any of y'all already heard some of my work.
Please do. And like I said, bro, y'all, you family now, bro. So whatever you
Man,
need.
I'm so honored, man. I'm just so honored to be on your podcast. I was just talking to my fiance about how a lot of black podcasts, they interviewing they don't even interview intellectual black men anymore. They got all this ignorant, they don't got no kind of, like, you just got cats talking, spitting, like just saying whatever sounds good, the most common sense things.
Yeah.
But what I tell people is, we're going in the wrong direction. We need more of those podcasts, and you'll be surprised. Some of those top podcasts I reach out, some of them guys know me. They follow me.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, can I come over there and talk about something real? And they're like, yo, that might not be good for the ratings. This might not be good for the ratings.
I'm going to tell you, and this is a secret. I don't know if I'm going to leave this part on the pod while I'm talking to you right now. But I got a whole scheme to rig the system on how we're feeding, right? I've been feeding little spurts here and there. You know, we'll laugh, I play some music, whatever, ha ha ha, talk about some current events. But this, what we talking about right now,
yeah,
it's you, it's another king in Greensboro, North Carolina. He's doing the first black distribution for food.
Wow.
Distribution.
Wow.
I got my personal business partner, Reggie Miller. Him and all black investors did $100 million deal on real
Reggie
estate.
Miller, the baller?
No, he a real estate agent.
Okay.
Well, real estate agent / investor, but
absolutely,
they all black $100 million investment to build out a city in Alabama. I got him. And I
That's insane,
and
King.
I'm about to flood the whole space with just this energy to get to rewire it. And then my
Well,
master,
tell them King Hollis, man. I'm down to rock with him in any capacity, baby.
yes
I
sir,
like that.
yes
I
sir.
do my part. I'm down to help, King.
All right, y'all heard it
So,
first. Y'all heard it first.
down to help, baby. For sure.
But again,
For
I
sure.
appreciate you, bruh. It's been
Man,
real.
I appreciate you, King. It was an honor. I'm gonna get your contact too, man. Make sure you get my number so we
Okay.
can hop on the call, man, and talk after this. I do my speeches and my music thing. I'm working on an album called The Rise of the Black Messiah, and you seem like the man that could probably help me get that thing done.
I'm gonna send you a DM.
Okay, do that, King. So
On
I think I followed you already.
all right, I'm gonna check. But as soon as
I'm
we
gonna.
wrap up,
I'll check too. I'll check.
yeah, as soon as we wrap up, like, bruh, getting, we gonna talk.
Done deal, King. Done deal, fam.
All
Done
right,
deal.
bruh. All right, Mr. William King Hollis, everybody, I'm gonna reach out.
All right, King. Bless.
So that was that was Mr. William King Hollis. So check it out. We got some at home cleaning up to do. I want to make sure that all of y'all follow him for one. For two, we are still looking for some more camera people, behind the scenes people to shoot what we got going on the podcast. We also shooting the film. And what else we doing? We got Sound and Wave still. Sound and Wave is still popping. So if you do want to be on any of those platforms, I always put all the information in the bottom of the description so that y'all can catch it. Also, last but not least, I do have the masterclass coming. I'm gonna clap for myself. The masterclass will be coming. I'm slated to do it in May. This is the gusto for artists. I'm gonna just say that artists in every genre. We talking about singers, songwriters, producers. Shoot, if you juggle, if you're a comedian, any of the stuff that's considered a quote unquote not a real job, yeah, this is for you. What I'm doing with the masterclass is giving nothing but jewels. For one, I'm teaching y'all how to spot different opportunities that might come up in the business. So just like the NFT game, we're gonna talk about that a little bit. We got some specialists that's gonna help y'all develop NFTs if y'all want it. Then we're also gonna talk about how to get into real estate, how to invest, and how to get all that stuff going. I got loan officers, I got agents, I got contractors, everything y'all need to be successful in that space so that you can fund your career, right? Because I know, again, like me and Mr. Hollis just finished talking about, I know what it's like to try to go after a dream and you're not able to fund it, for one. If you can't fund it, then nobody sees it, for two. And if nobody sees it, it's hard for you to be successful. So, this masterclass is just, like I said, it's the gusto for all of y'all. So this will be coming soon. Just make sure y'all stay tuned. Share the pods. If you're not already following us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, please make sure you follow the Mad Lucrative Podcast. Mad Lucrative, again, Mad, you know how to spell Mad. Lucrative, if you don't know how to spell it, it's on the bottom. It's actually right there at the bottom of the screen. Mad Lucrative Podcast. We have some dope stuff going for all artists, and I don't want nobody to miss out. I don't want nobody to miss out on what we got going on. I'm trying to think. Am I missing anything? Oh yeah. Also, if you are the singer, songwriter, producer, musician, and y'all want to be on the Sound and Wave platform, make sure you're in Georgia. I meant to add that. You can drive. We might look out for you on the gas and all that stuff. But please make sure you're in Georgia, because the way we got it going on now is you come in, we record you, and from the recording, we do some edits. Then we got, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. I'm not even going to break the whole thing down. But if you want to be on the Sound and Wave platform, please send a message to the link below. It's going to be on IG. Can't remember where else. Everything else is going to be on the bottom. So, until next week, peace. It's not just a network, man. It's a network, man.